Oh, we are live. You guys didn't tell me 3, 2, 1. Well, we're not ready, just like the Sharks weren't ready tonight. And with some great second period heroics and third period heroics to get them tied up, unfortunately, they just did not work out. And the Sharks lose their inaugural trip to Southern Nevada by the score of 5-4 in overtime. We will talk about it like crazy tonight here on Teal Town After Dark. Hi, everybody. I'm Eric Curry. You can follow me on Twitter at PuckGuy14. Oh, boy. This one's going to be a tough one, and this one might have some extra saltiness, so be forewarned. But nonetheless, if you want to be a part of the show, use the hashtag TealTownUSA. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube. You can chat with us during the show in the YouTube page or on the app. And we do this after every game, so anybody who is checking in from Vegas, hello there. We might have somebody checking in from Vegas sometime in the very near future, but we'll hopefully get to them as soon as they do. But nonetheless, let's say hello to the crew that we have on hand. The guy who spells his name the right way and has brought back the laundry full on. Holy cow. It is Eric Landy.
Yeah, the laundry's here. And
you're muted.
Oh, am I? I'm not.
Maybe you are. Maybe it's my headphones.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. No, it's good to be back. Still feeling it, but yeah, slowly working my way back into normal
chat
life.
To say something, maybe. Yeah. No, it's good. No, it's me. Of course, it's me. Oh, it's me. All right. Of course. What else is new? All right. And joining us, Mr. Kevin Lacey.
Well, it looks like someone's joining us here. Anyway, I tried to get my Teal Town USA graphic up, and I'm not sure what happened.
And she just was... I gotta fix
Eric's
these headphones.
talking over me now. Puck guy, get yourself together, man.
Kelsey, hi, my dear. You just made a cameo on Postgame Live on NBC Sports California, but we have you here. Please tell us about how the T-Mobile Arena was tonight and everything like that, my dear.
Well, it's a really weird arena. They don't have the thing back rule, so people can sit right in front of you and they can lean forward. Also, it's not like a full circle. You walk to one side of the arena, and you have to walk all the way back around. Kind of a thing, like you get cut off.
Are you talking about like kind of how the club is in SAP Center, where the club only goes to like 115, and then to get to 120, you have to go all the way around the other side? Nah. Sorry, Kelsey, we're having technical difficulties on our end, but how was the in-game experience?
It was. You won, Bernsey! Sorry, they're kind of walking to the bus. The bus. They kind of look angry, but it was good. Down to 4-1. And it was good when we started scoring and rubbing it in their faces because we came back and they were sucking. The goaltender interference call.
Yeah. What about the atmosphere though? Like, was it pretty raucous? Like, did the fans seem knowledgeable, or at least knowledgeable enough to get through the game? Or
some of them seemed knowledgeable. It was loud. The PA system needs a little bit of work because we had no idea that the Golden Knights were challenging that goal, and they never announced it.
Well, so their announcer could use some work, but yeah. But I mean, like overall, like the fans. I mean, did you see a lot of Golden Knights jerseys, or was it just kind of like we showed up because it's Thanksgiving kind of thing?
A lot of them. You walk around the Strip, you will see some hats. You'll see, like, it depends on the time of day, because we walked past New York to get to the arena, and we saw a lot of jerseys. So I think it depends on what part of the Strip you're on, where you see it. But there are a lot of jerseys in the arena, and a lot of
I think we're losing her.
Yep.
I think so too. I think I don't know if Kelsey's on a T-Mobile connection. Didn't.
No. Well, Kelsey, thank you, my dear. I appreciate you checking with us, and enjoy Vegas. We will only let this be recorded. The rest of it, we won't know, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas unless it's NHL hockey. All right, I think she's losing us. Thanks, Kelsey. Have a great night.
Have a great night, Kelsey.
All right. That was Kelsey. While she was doing that, I went to the backup headphones. I apologize for that horrific start to the show. But let's talk about the horrific start to this game, guys. Wow, that didn't start too well. Shea Theodore with his first goal of the season at 2:33 from Cody Eakin and Brandon Leipzig. I got those names right. Yes. 1-0 Vegas. James Neal, who's pretty much been lights out for the Golden Knights, especially early on, got a power play goal. I know, power play goal? What? A power play goal, guys? Excuse me. At 11:16, assisted by Eric. Wait, I'll get this for AJ. Holla! And Jonathan Marchessault makes it 2-0 Vegas. And then, of course, late in the period, Tomas Hertl from Donskoy and Vlasic late in the period, making it 2-1 after one. Landy, I'll start with you. What did you take from the first period?
Oh, boy. I mean, it just looked like Vegas had stepped on that throttle from the very beginning, and San Jose really just kind of came out of their way at first. You know, I was wondering maybe it was a little bit too much turkey. Maybe it was a little bit too much drinking on the Strip. I don't know, but it just looked dysfunctional in that first period.
Landy, or I'm sorry, Kevin, your thoughts about the first?
Well, I didn't think the Sharks started off terribly at the very, very start of the game. I thought they had two just glorious chances. They had two breakaways in like the first 2 minutes of the game, and the problem was, I think like 7 minutes in, it was 10-1 shots in favor of Vegas, and it's like, how did the Sharks have two breakaways and they're getting outshot 10-1? Like, that was kind of the microcosm of the first period. Is they were getting some chances at least early, but they weren't doing anything with them, and so then Vegas stepped on the gas, as Eric Landy just said. And all of a sudden, the Sharks find themselves down in a big hole.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I just feel like, what are they doing there? What are they doing there?
And there was at one time, guys, 8.5 minutes, Randy had mentioned on the broadcast that they had gone without a shot on goal, which made me really concerned about, offensively and defensively, because they had gotten down to a 2-0 lead, and Vegas looked like they were dominating. I mean, they looked like a Stanley Cup contender, especially in that first period.
Oh, Vegas? I mean, I think Vegas's work ethic right now is what's carrying them through. I mean, I feel like they have good talent, but I wouldn't say they have like superstar talent. I mean, maybe James Neal, but I don't know. I think that the team is right now just really carrying off of the momentum of people not knowing how to take them as a team. And I think that, quite honestly, most teams going into Vegas probably don't have their minds on a game. And that's why their home record's so good.
And you know what? Kind of reflecting back, and granted, it's tongue-in-cheek, when he said it last game against the Desert Dogs. Oh, wait, sorry. Okay, there we go. Jumbo says, "Oh, I love Vegas," and I think that's where the opposing team can come in and get take advantage and not get, let me try it again. Wow, this has been a bad night for me. The opposing teams are like, can't wait to get to Vegas, and the Knights take advantage of that.
I was thinking kind of the opposite in a way, or at least I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that these teams have a little more professionalism to them in Vegas. But, I mean, who knows, But at the same time, like, if the visiting teams are on their so-called best behavior, they might be thrown off in the sense of like, whoa, it's Vegas. I got to really be on my toes. I got to watch what's going on, make sure I don't get in any trouble. And that's not a very comfortable feeling when you're going to the rink the next night or that night to go play hockey. Is you're kind of out of your normal day-to-day routine by being too proper, so to speak. So on one hand, maybe the teams are going out and partying too much. On the other hand, they might be too proper, as I just said. So I just feel like these teams are coming into Vegas not in their comfort zone, trying to feel everything out, and the Golden Knights are taking advantage of that here early in the season.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, take advantage of it, and you're going to be good to go with it, in my opinion. I mean, that's part of the other team being prepared mentally and physically, and that's where it's going to come back to haunt them. And I think it did early on the second period as William Karlsson gets 2 quick goals. The first one 10 seconds into the second period. I mean, it was obvious the Sharks were not ready to go, and were, I don't want to say playing down to their opponent's levels, because they're the best team in the Pacific Division. So they should have played up to their opponent's levels, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and essentially that sent Martin Jones to the showers early, and he stopped 11 of 14 shots in 20 minutes and 10 seconds time. We'll kind of talk about it a little bit later, but I wonder if you go to Dell tomorrow night against Winnipeg. So,
yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. I don't know what. I think the first 2 goals for me on Jones were kind of shitty. I mean, the first one I did not like at all, because it looked like he wasn't expecting the top, I guess that would be top stick side corner to be shot like that, but he needs to really hug that post better.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that one. And then on the second goal, it was the same deal, but on I guess that was his glove side. But I mean, whatever. It was both top corner shelf goals, both, very, very stuck in the corner. And if he would have hugged the post a little bit better and been upright, it would have bounced right off his mask.
But that was the second goal for Neal was a scrambly play where everyone was running around like crazy, and Jones had to go side to side to make that save. So he would have had to make a remarkable save on Neal to even stop that, though.
Like Teal Glass said, they are grown-ass men. It's not like you can't have trouble in most other NHL cities. That's true. That's very true. Although I think the lights do shine a little bit more in Vegas, but that's the thing, Sleepy. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kevin.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say the Karlsson goal, though. I mean, that's a good tip. I mean, 10 seconds into the period, I liked the move to go to Dell because, I mean, what was going on with Jones wasn't working. And basically it was a free timeout to say for DeBoer to tell the guys, okay, now are you ready?
Yeah.
Like, you should have been ready 10 seconds ago. Now are you ready?
Yeah, pull your heads out of your asses. That was what that was.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And they did let one more goal in the second period, which was Karlsson again off of Dell. That made it 4-1. You're already thinking, okay, that's it. But not about a minute, 13 seconds later, the Schneid to almost end all Schneids for reigning Norris Trophy winners finally ends as Brent Burns, ... for now still, gets his first goal on the year, assisted by Joe Thornton. Holly freaking Luya. Burnsy is off the schneid, guys.
Zorda.
watch, they're gonna freaking.
That's why I said ... for now.
Yeah, they're gonna freaking adjust that one, and it's gonna be Timo Meyer's goal. Watch.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it deflect off Meyer, and you could hear on the live. I mean, it made a clear just right off of his leg or whatever.
Yeah, no, it looked like in. Let's see if I can pull up the GIF, not GIF, like Gen X always tells me, the GIF. As he wants it off the draw, it looked like it might have gone off, possibly off of Timo right around there, but looks like it's a good goal nonetheless. 4-2 for the Sharks, and that began the comeback.
Yeah.
That began the comeback as then Chris Tierney gets on the board to make it 4-3 off of a nice open net. He crashed the net. He did turn into Legacy, and I thought, oh gosh, he touched the goaltender again. Oh goodness, not again. But nonetheless, he put that in to make it 4-3, and then near the end of the period, like I tweeted out, the yell you heard was Hockey Jerk celebrating Bodker scoring. The hot bod, Mikhail Bodker, picks up the rebound. He gets his third on the year, ties the game up. It's 4-4 going into the third period, and the amazing turnaround from the Sharks after a horrific start to this game.
Landy, what do you think? I'll go after you here.
Yeah, I mean, it was just Bodker really following up on a really good shot. I mean, you've got to be ready for the puck to come out at you when you're in front of the goal. And you know what? He did exactly that. He put it in the back of the net. It doesn't really get any easier than that.
Yeah, no, seriously. And it definitely changed things up really quick and go from 4-1 to 4-4. And then things got a little interesting because then midway through the period, Couture finds an opening from Hurdle. It's 5-4. The Sharks have completed the comeback. It's four goals. The Sharks lead in Vegas. But like Kelsey said earlier, they didn't tell you that it was being challenged until the guys said it, and you started seeing that the refs were over there at the scorers table taking a look at it. So, guys, before I show off the GIF of the overhead shot of the goal, tell us what you thought of this recent no-goal call.
Lacey, why don't you take this one?
Do I have to? Because I'm the one who always sides with the NHL for some stupid reason on this.
Well, then even better. I'll let you go first.
On this one's tough because Subban, Donskoy makes contact with Subban, and you can see on the replay that Subban, it knocks him off balance and he falls forward. However, at the same time, Subban has enough time to get back across and make the save, and Subban was so far out of position when Donskoy made contact with him. I don't think Subban, if he is on balance, makes that save anyway. So that's the frustrating part of it. Because, I mean, we'll talk about it later where the final goal of the game went to review as well, but it was clearly obvious that Aaron Dell, despite there being contact, it didn't matter. It didn't matter that he was contacted. The puck was going in anyway, and I feel like this Couture goal was the same instance. So, yeah, there was contact, but...
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing, too, is, I mean... I just don't know. I just don't know what to do there. I don't understand how this review process can be this damaging to a team's scoring output. And we've seen it, 4 times in a row. 4 games in a row, or not in a row, but the last 4 challenges have all gone against the Sharks, and they'll even out eventually. But man, right now they're on the other end of that.
I don't know if they'll even out eventually, man. I mean, poor Tommy Wingles has like 4 or 5 goals against him in his NHL career that he doesn't have on his score sheet because of this. But
why do you think he joined Chicago now?
Yeah. Good point. Good point. And that I'm sure he wants to play in another outdoor game. So here is essentially the principal point of contact. Yes, we'll go Department of Player Safety guidelines on this one, folks. Looks like Donskoy made contact with originally his stick and then his skate, but part of his body is out of the crease. However, Donskoy's foot is barely in the crease, I guess you could say, and that caused Subban to be out of place as the puck is crossing the slot as we speak there. And sure enough, by the time Logan gets set to hammer it in, Subban is got like his right knee and leg, or his right leg essentially, we'll call it, out of the crease, and it's banged in. Subban, I thought, had no shot at it whatsoever, but he bangs it home, but it's no goal. And man, oh man, guys, I don't know about this one. I don't know. Let's look at the chat. Right skate to left skate contact. That's what it is, according to Gen X. Same thing with LeBanc in the other game. It's so tough and it's so frustrating, I think, is more the word, just because of how, and Ian, like you said, I feel it's soft, but it is what it is. Yeah. And we'd be complaining about it if it was the other way around, if they had allowed it. So.
But unlike the Florida game earlier in the week, I thought that the Sharks didn't just pout over it and quit the game like they did on Wednesday night. Like I thought the Sharks stayed in this game and tried to overcome it at least.
Yeah, definitely. And like Gen X says, argue all about it impacting Subban's ability to make the save, but there was contact. Yeah, there was contact, and contact's contact. And that's the frustrating part about it, and it certainly changed the game. I can't say it would have won it, because who knows what would have been to that. With that being said, good evening, everyone. We welcome those of you who are watching Brody and Curtis to Teal Town After Dark. We are your live and interactive Sharks post-game show, but make sure you hit the subscribe button down below or to the side, wherever it's at on there, and make sure you hit up tealtownusa.com for all your stuff for Sharks Podcast. We do this after every game, and we appreciate you joining us to discuss this. I thought the rest of the third period that both teams went back and forth in chances, and overall, guys, I thought this was a very entertaining game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I felt like if you were a first time hockey fan and you were giving a kind of how to the game and really like showing them the best of like what end-to-end action could be, this is that game. I mean, you had everything in this game. You had comebacks, you had high scoring, you had high chances, goaltender changes, goaltender reviews. I mean, it was an awesome game to watch. It was really fun.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Kevin?
Definitely. A very good game to watch. Sadly, not a victory, but I mean, for the first time that the Sharks and the Golden Knights have ever played against each other in a game that matters, this isn't much. There's not much more you could have asked for out of this game, at least once the Sharks got back into it.
Absolutely. And we go into overtime, and Jonathan Marchessault, takes advantage of a broken stick from Brent Burns. Vlasic gets over there a little too late. Might have been some interference, but I think that was a little way after the puck went off of Joe Thornton's skate and in. So congratulations, Jumbo. You scored your first goal as a Vegas Golden Knight. And I'm kidding. But the Vegas Golden Knights pick up the 2 points. They win 5-4. Great game all around. Guys, what did you think about Aaron Dell in relief mode here tonight?
I thought Aaron, I thought he did really well. He let in that first goal, but that one was pretty tough. That was a pretty tough goal, to stop in general. So I don't think you can really fault him for that. And the goal again, the goal in overtime wasn't really his fault either. He came in, he stabilized the situation, and you know what? Played better, in my opinion, than Jones did. That, in my opinion, I think Dell just really brought that steadying influence that we normally see Martin Jones bring.
And that's a big. Am I muted? Oh no, I'm not.
No,
muted.
you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
That's a big part of it with the goaltending. I mean, we're seeing this with the Barracuda right now, where Troy Grosnick can't get a whiff of ice time, right now, because Antoine Bibeau is the guy that the Barracuda are playing better in front of. And we saw it 2 years ago with Aaron Dell, where the Barracuda just played better, felt more comfortable with Dell and net. You asked quite some time ago, Puck Guy, should Aaron Dell start against the Jets tomorrow? And I think yes. I didn't like how Dell started the game. I thought he was super scrambly and then gave up the goal. Not the goal wasn't his fault, but he looked a little wild there. But so did the rest of the team. And then once the Burns goal happened, they settled down. He settled down, and everything was cool outside of not getting the victory. I thought Dell was the guy tonight, and he should be the guy tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah, I say Dell gets to start. Why not? Not going to hurt you. You got a big road trip coming up coming up next week. Might as well just get on it. So, Rob Iman in the chat, do the Sharks move Grosnick to get a shooting prospect?
No, because Troy Grosnick has no value. He's a 27-year-old minor league goalie.
I wouldn't say that, but you'd also got to look at what's the goaltender market right now. Not really that high. I don't think that there's anybody really looking for a goaltender besides Vegas
and Arizona. Two.
Yeah, and what are you going to get back from them? They're in division. You're going to get a low return on investment with Dell. And quite frankly, I mean, Grosnick, while he was really good last year, I mean, has he been as good this year? I'd just keep him. I think it's a really good 1-2 punch right now.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Bibo's been playing pretty well for the Barracuda, too. Speaking of which, the Barracuda are about to drop the puck. They are taking on the
Ontario Reign.
Thank you very much.
Ontario.
That game is on... Wait a minute, let me try to do this here. On the AM 1220 KDOW, as Nicholas.
Yeah, until they move it to a different network, like half the games this season, and then don't tell you.
No, of course. What do I know about that? Come on now. Yes, so that game will be underway shortly. We'll try to live tweet it for you on Teal Town USA throughout the night. But let's
follow and subscribe, folks.
Yes, by all means, do so. All right, guys. So because it's Black Friday, a lot of kids have the day off. So an early schedule of games in the NHL on this day. Of course, shameless self-plug, 25% off going on right now at shop.nhl.com. I don't think it includes jerseys, though. So just a heads up on that. All right, so a lot of games are in the third period because this game started at 3 o'clock, even before the Eastern time zone starts. So we're going to be updating these before we go off, but let's go over the final ones so far. In the Black Friday traditional Thanksgiving showdown game that NBC puts on, two of their favorite teams, Boston and Pittsburgh, played. And it was David Pasternak with the game-winning goal, makes it 4-3 Bruins over the Penguins. Nice night, or nice day. As former Sharks prospect Sean Corrali gets his third goal in the year. Jake Gensel with a power play goal, Phil Kessel, and some guy that Pierre McGuire loves that we don't need to mention his name, also scored for the Penguins in a 3-goal second period.
PK Subban?
No. No. The other one.
Oh. Milan Lucic? No, I'm just messing with you.
I mean, he's no Bobby Orr.
Oh, yeah.
In Quackenheim, the Sharks' next opponent.
I got to mute this because I haven't finished the game yet, but it was a damn entertaining game before I turned the Sharks on. So
All right,
go ahead and say the score.
Mute. Take your phones out. In Quackenheim, the Winnipeg Jets take down the Ducks 4-1 as the Jets go to 14-5-3 on the year. Ellers with 2 goals, Brian Little and Connor with the goal as Connor Hellebuck picks up another win on the year. Francois Beauchemin was the lone goal scorer for the Mighty Ducks, or the not-so-Mighty Ducks on this night. Yes, I said mighty, whatever. The Ducks go to 10-9-3. They're at 23 points on the campaign. Okay, Kevin, you're back. In Minnesota, the Minnesota Wild win in a shootout over the Colorado Avalanche 3-2. Zucker keeps doing it again for Minnesota. He's been impressive, guys. With Comfer and Como for Colorado. Niederreiter also scored for the Avalanche. And former Shark Alert, Alex Stalock with the win in Minnesota tonight.
Good for him. Hometown guy, too.
Good Minnesota boy. Yeah, there we go. All right. In Philly, in overtime, the Islanders win 5-4 over the Flyers. It was Nick Leddy with the game-winning goal as Barzal, Clutterbuck, Everly, and Ladd also scored for the Islanders. For the Flyers, Giroux, Simmons, Gustafsson, Couturier, all were red lighters for the Flyers as the Islanders go to 13-7-2 on the campaign in their Keep John Tavares campaign there. All right. Cheryl check replying on the Twitter machine. Cuda game on too. So much hockey. Yes, we love it that way.
That's right.
In our nation's capital, for those living in the United States, of course, the Capitals beat the Lightning. Yes, this is a shocker, folks. But wait, what's the bigger shocker? The Lightning only scored 1 goal.
Oh!
That's right. The Capitals go to 13-10-1 on goals by Alex Ovechkin, Devontae Smith-Pelly, and Jay Beagle. 3-1 over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Grubauer was in net for the Caps, while Vasilevsky takes the loss for Tampa Bay as Nemestnikov got the power play goal a minute 22 into the game on a power play. Of course, we told you about the Golden Knights beating the Sharks. Games in progress or about to end. Flames and Stars are scoreless after 1 period, or with 5:30 left to go in the first period. In the Gila River Arena, the LA Kings are down 1-0 to the Desert Dogs.
Oh my God.
In St. Louis, the Predators are down 1-0 to the I'm sorry. The Predators are up 1-0 on the St. Louis Blues. Yeah, I can talk. During the end of the second period, with 14 minutes to go in the third, the Leafs are up 5-2 on the Carolina Hurricanes. That's Drew Weber's Carolina Hurricanes. As Zach Hyman, Josh Levo. Whoa, Levo got a goal. Oh man, and poor thing, he's probably gonna get scratched tomorrow. Hainsey, who is only supposed to be playing the full penalty kill, gets a second. Van Riemsdyk with his 12th, and some guy named Patrick Marleau gets a power play goal, his 9th on the season, to make it 5-2 for Canada's team. In Columbus, it's almost a final. It looks like Blue Jackets are going to go on to win this game. Currently, it's 4-2 with under a minute to go. Pyatt and Hoffman for the Sens, while Cam Atkinson, who's had a decent year, he has 2 goals on the night, along with, oh crap, Janice is about to light me up, and so is Ian. Nadavara.
Who?
What?
On Columbus?
Yes. He got his first goal.
Yes.
Yes, I got that right. Yes. All right. As they just added an empty netter to that, as Nick Foligno and Travis Mott makes it 5-2 for Columbus. They are looking like they're going to go on for a win. In New York, the Rangers are tied with the Red Wings 1-1 with 5 minutes and 47 seconds to go in the third. It is now a final. The Devils win 3-2 over the Vancouver Canucks as Daniel Sedin and Bo Horvat scored. That's for you, Rocket. Taylor Hall, Brian Boyle, and Severson get goals for the Devils.
Snipe shot by Taylor Hall tonight, too.
And in Buffalo, it's 4 minutes to go in the third period, but the Sabres are up 2-0 on the Edmonton Oilers as Josefsson and Eichel have goals for the Sabres.
Have you guys seen the goal that Michael Jack Eichel scored? Because, oh my gosh, if anyone ever complains about the Sharks goaltending, just look at the goal that Laurent Brossoit gave up to Eichel. Like, you don't, Brossoit, just skate away from the net because, holy cow, if you can't stop that, you shouldn't be in the NHL.
Oh. So that's your NHL wraparound on this evening. Like we said, the Barracuda and Reign are about to get on their way right now as we speak. Sleepy Mofo in the chat. Oilers must be missing Hall's offense, not his attitude, supposedly. I guess this is something NHL, although he's changed his name to Bodker Puck Collector. I love Niemi, go Niners. Did somebody say Vancouver? Yes, they did.
Oh, God.
Oh, and yes, Gen X said it got. Dang it. I'm sorry, Gen X. Nudavara is how you say this name.
Yes, that's right.
My bad. I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
Rob Iman says, % chance that Chicago becomes sellers at the deadline.
All right. I want to sort of get to that. First, since you mentioned the out-of-town scores, we don't do the AHL scores unless it's a Barracuda post-game show. However, Rochester beat Binghamton 10-3.
Ooh.
And Rochester got outshot 32-29.
Whoa.
So, yeah, so Rochester scored 10 goals on 29 shots.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That goalie is a sieve, or those goalies are sieves.
That goalie is going to the AHL, or the ECHL, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mackenzie Blackwoods gave up 4 goals on 11 shots, and Ken Appleby gave up 6 goals on 18 shots.
Oh, my God.
And got a 10-minute misconduct, too. That's interesting.
Damn. Damn. Wow. Since we're covering minor league really quick, no scores so far between the Allen Americans and Idaho Steelheads.
Oh, wow. We're going real deep here.
That's
real dark
right.
after dark.
Real dark after dark. And if they had real-time scores for the junior Sharks and everybody in the North, we would have done that too.
No.
Lane's like, no.
Rob's question, because Rob also asked earlier, is Vegas a buyer? So are the Blackhawks sellers? I want to get your thoughts before I chime in on that.
Landy?
Oh, boy. Well, I mean, I know right now that Chicago's really in the thick of things in the wild card race. I mean, there's kind of just a glut of teams, at that like 24, 23 mark. I mean, Anaheim's got 23 points. Dallas is 23. Chicago's 23. Colorado's 24. We're 24. I mean, everybody's played similar amount of games. Vancouver's played the most, and they have 25. So it's really too close to call about who's going to be buyers or sellers right now, right this second. But Chicago always goes for it. I don't see them breaking that trend. They always try and add something at the deadline if they're in contention. Do I think that this is the year that they kind of fall back to earth? It's possible. I've seen weirder things happen, but I don't know. There's just something about that core of that team, and I'm not really completely sold on Winnipeg yet. I feel like the Steve Mason experiment's going to fall out. If you're going to circle somebody to come out, I really think that Winnipeg, the bottom of the boat, could really fall out there. I mean, I think Vegas, like I said, I think that charm is going to wear off maybe halfway into the season. We're at the quarter pole right now, and there's no signs of them stopping. I don't know. I just feel like they're really getting away with it on work ethic, and over an 82 game season, I think is really when you start to see the talent kind of shine through. So if I had to predict anything, I guess Vegas, I see them making the playoffs. I see them falling maybe down to like third or a wild card spot, first wild card. Winnipeg, though, that's the one I circle as they might be overachieving a little bit. So is Vancouver, for that matter, too. I think Vancouver's coming out.
Yeah. Kevin?
As far as Winnipeg goes, I like them. I liked them in the preseason. My problem with Winnipeg was what happens when they don't have the puck, because that team is unbelievable with the puck. Connor Hellebuck has stood on his head for them this year, but we'll find out how great Steve Mason is tomorrow night, because I've heard he's starting against the Sharks, and I'm not a Steve Mason guy. So say the Jets move Mason. Does Hellebuck fall on his butt again? Because last year he was handed the reins by himself and it didn't work out. So Landy does have a point that Winnipeg still needs to kind of prove themselves. Chicago, I will never count Chicago out, at least not in this era. Right. I will not count them out. But Vegas is an interesting one. And this was brought up on Hockey Central at noon the other day and Nick Kiprio said, no, Vegas will not make the playoffs. And it's like they're leading the division, and they say 83% of the teams that lead at Thanksgiving make the playoffs. Yep. But he brought up an interesting point in that Vegas has a lot of impending unrestricted free agents, and they don't want to lose. They don't want to make a playoff push, get knocked out in the first round, and have nothing to show for it next year but a rebuilding roster. So Vegas, if they go the route of selling some players here throughout the rest of this season, they might not make the playoffs just for the fact of they need to prepare for the future.
Right. And I would venture to guess that that's more important right now than making the playoffs in their first season. I mean,
yeah.
I also kind of just circling back to Winnipeg. I look at Mark Scheifele and Blake Wheeler and Patrick Laine. I mean, on Nikolai Ehlers for that matter. But those four are consistently making the points up for Winnipeg, and that's a problem too when you have a really top heavy team. And I see that as a top heavy team right this second. So,
okay.
Yeah, I see Winnipeg being there at the end when. End all be all. I think that they're probably a playoff team, but I don't see them being as high as they are right now.
That makes sense.
And I really do think that Vancouver is really going to fall back to earth, because I mean right now they're sitting at a -1 in their differential goals for, goals against. Calgary sitting at a -2. I would be surprised if Calgary stays in the third spot. I see them maybe going to the wild card, pushing Vancouver out, and maybe somebody like San Jose or Anaheim coming back in. But I don't know. Vegas is just so interesting, because you look at the way that they've done it, and it's very much by committee. However, I mean, there's really not like that game-breaking player. It's just a collection of second liners, third liners that are just really getting it done. And that's the thing that scares me the most is, what if that starts to dry up?
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm still impressed that here it is, almost 2 full months into the season, and we're still talking about Vegas in positive ways, and not, oh yeah, I remember the expansion draft. Yeah, that was a long time ago, and they've got 2 wins to show for it. They're an exciting team to talk about.
Oh yeah, definitely. They've done it the right way. I mean, as far as a blueprint for an expansion franchise goes, they've done it the best way that you can. Stockpiling the assets that they got, making really good draft choices. I mean, I think their drafting in the first round was really top notch. I like what they were doing.
Yes.
Really, I mean, there's not really a blemish on there. I mean. Maybe some of the backroom deals you could have gotten more, because if I was George McPhee, I would have bent some of those GMs more than he already did. I think that there was a few more draft picks to squeeze out, But for as much as he got, I mean, they're set up long term. I think 3 or 4 years, this team is going to be really good.
And it's scary that they're good this early. And the crazy part is they use 5 different goaltenders in their first quarter of the season. You got to give your hat tip to Vegas for doing what they've done through this season. They picked up win number 14 on the year tonight. Is it yes, I think it's win number 14 on the year. That matches the 1999 expansion Atlanta Thrashers in wins that they have in one season. Then when they get their 15th, they will match the Seals and the Kansas City Scouts from 1974 on wins in the year. The record, if I'm looking at this correctly, are the 93-94 Florida Panthers and Anaheim Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Got to get the names right here, for most wins by an expansion team. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. Of course, for the Sharks, it was 17-58-5 for their first year. So
how many wins did the Panthers and Mighty Ducks have?
33.
Oh, wow. That's surprising.
So
that's higher than I would have guessed.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So with that being said, fact or fiction, Robine, that's for you. The Vegas Golden Knights will have 41 wins on the season.
Ooh. So sub 500 or above 500? I'm going to go with over. Maybe not much over, but I'm going to go with over.
Well, I mean, we got, 61 games left?
Mm-hmm.
500 puts them at 30 wins, so we're talking 44 wins. It's possible. But I don't see it. I see them maybe going 400 the rest of the way. Maybe I put them at high 30s, probably somewhere in the 35 to 40 range.
Yeah.
And lastly, the percentage, because, and of course, Kevin, I refer this as Jerry's percentages, not to TSN 1040. The percent, you should be doing this. The percentage chance that the Vegas Golden Knights make the Stanley Cup playoffs.
It might be the first time I've ever agreed with Nick Kiprios. But as much as I would say, yeah, they seem like a shoo-in, I really do think that, based on the expansion draft that George McPhee had, where he didn't take the obvious choices, he really went with made some questionable decisions. It's worked out, but he didn't go with the best available. He went with the best for the future. So I could see them, I really can see them be sellers here leading up to the trade deadline, January, February, and taking themselves out of a playoff spot. So I'm going to go with under.
It's really interesting because you brought up a point about James Neal under strict free agent. Does he really want to be in Vegas? Is that where he wants to try and win a cup? He's going to be on the wrong side of 30. And
at this
he's got his
rate,
cup,
though.
Yeah, he got his cup, but I'm sure that he wants more.
Oh, I would hope so.
Yeah. So I don't see them letting him walk. I think that he gets traded.
See, I go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
I just, because you've seen all of the moves that George McPhee has done, and they're all moves for the future. And I don't think that he's going to just sacrifice, the win now for later. I think he's a forward-looking GM, and I don't think that he'll have any problems moving assets, expiring assets for tangible future assets.
Yeah. I don't think Neal has won a cup. He was with Pittsburgh from 2010-11 to 2013-14. And while he played in the Stanley Cup final with the Predators, they didn't win. So he did not win a cup. So maybe he stays with the Knights to help them win a cup in their inaugural season. I can't believe we're actually saying that. That's crazy. And I'll be sick to my stomach, and so will fans of the Arizona Coyotes as well. All right. Really quickly, let's prep for tomorrow night's game, which I believe is a Hockey Night in Canada game, albeit on Sportsnet. Sharks Jets. It's the West Side Story game.
Oh God, I knew that was coming.
I'm a Romeo and Juliet guy over West Side Story, so.
Which one? The old one or the newer one?
The Zeffirelli one, but I didn't mind the DiCaprio one.
Oh my God. So we know that Mason's starting in net tomorrow. We all know about Line and Shifley. Blake Wheeler has been phenomenal for them. Dustin Bufflin's been pretty good. This team is a good team, and as much as everybody makes fun, it's got INN in the name, so Eric must like them. This team has been a pretty good surprise so far into the season.
Yeah, really. I mean, Blake Wheeler and his line, I mean, has really just emerged as really good. I mean, these guys have it all. They can play make. They can, shoot a pretty goal in. They can get dirty. I mean, that team right now is firing on all cylinders, and it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see how it came together. It's crazy what a top 3 draft pick will do for you in a season.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I guess it's Marshawn Lynch bobblehead night too.
Yes, it is. Marshawn Lynch bobblehead night. Let's hope the Sharks can be in beast mode.
I hope he stays for the whole game.
Well, they have a game on Sunday, I believe, right? Yeah, I believe they have a game on Sunday. So we'll see. What would be cool is if he actually drops a puck. But they're home against the Broncos, so hopefully he comes in. So
yeah, that's a good point.
The other thing I'm just looking at on Winnipeg's schedule, they haven't really played a great defensive team yet. Just kind of scanning through it. I mean, Toronto, Calgary, Hurricanes, Oilers, Vancouver, Minnesota, Columbus. I mean, they lost to Columbus twice, and Columbus is pretty damn good. Lost to Pittsburgh once and beat them 7-1. Minnesota, they beat Minnesota. I mean, so really, this is going to be a good test for Winnipeg, because I don't think that they've come up against maybe the Kings, and you saw that game and it was 2-1 Winnipeg. But it's going to be that kind of a game tomorrow. I'm guessing that the Sharks are really, really gonna put that shutdown defense on there. I don't think the board is going to be very happy about how many goals they let in.
Yeah. Yeah, good call. I like that.
All right. In case you missed anything or want to watch that horrific intro by yours truly again, I don't blame you on that. When my headphones decide to not work, you can do so by logging on to tealtownusa.com or check out us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, you name it. You can catch us along with, I believe, another episode of The Technologist coming up soon. So you can check that out. Final thoughts, Mr. Landy?
Hey, you know what? If they can come out and get 3 out of a possible 4 points, but in a pretty tough back-to-back, I'll be pretty damn happy about that.
Yep. All right. And Mr. Lacey, your final thoughts?
One more Vegas note real quick. William Karlsson with his 6th career 2-goal game, which is insane considering he only has 30 career NHL goals. But you know what? It was kind of like the Anaheim game. It sucks to lose, but I'm not angry over the Sharks game. I'm angry over what transpired there in the 3rd period with the overturned call and whatnot. And I could be angry with the Sharks' 1st period. But, overall, I thought the Sharks really did a great job of battling back into this game. And let's hope that this trend continues. And hopefully now that Burns has his first official goal of the season, maybe that will just break the stress on the offense and they'll stop. Maybe they'll simplify things now in the offensive zone and go forward. So
yeah, and the other thing too, we didn't even talk about this, but the power play looked decent.
Yeah, they did actually.
The PK was kind of shit, but
but that's the first time it's been like shit in quite a while too. So I'm willing to give that a pass.
Yeah,
the puck movement was good on power play. Landy, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. But hey, but yeah, I mean, the Wookiee sighting. I mean, we really didn't. I mean, we got into it a little bit, but that just lifted the whole team up. You could just really see it, and hopefully, Burnsy's not gripping as hard now, and it'll just start to come.
Yeah. Oh, and one hell of a pass by Justin Braun on Tierney's goal.
Oh,
yes.
Lacey 22. There we go.
There we go. Hashtag we are all Kevin.
And then I think the other thing too that I wanted to chime in on, and I don't know why I didn't, it's kind of hard sometimes to still remember things, but that top line of Donskoy, Hurdle, and Couture, that's really good.
Yeah.
They've really emerged as the top line of the future. And you know what? Putting Timo Meier with the Joes, it's kind of like what Hurdle used to do, where he used to be the little battering ram on that line. Well, now Timo is, and Timo's plays a lot bigger than he is. So I don't know. I feel like the top two lines are clicking. Still would love to see Kevin LeBanc slot in on the third line and not play Ward or, not play Hansen. But hey, you can't win them all.
One thing quickly, now that you mentioned Timo Meier, had a rough go of it tonight, I thought at first, especially with his little contact with David Perron, which left him out of the game.
Perron needs to keep his head up, though, and I don't. Yeah. I mean, like he skated into Meier, like he's skating right at Meier. What's Meier supposed to do? Get knocked over?
Yeah, and not only that, but Meier puts his hands up like this. He braces for impact. There's no like leading with an elbow. There's no. He's not even gliding into him. He's literally standing still, and freaking Perron runs right into him. We saw that with the Joe Thornton hit. Yeah, like Joe didn't do anything, and it just happened to be fucking a foot larger. Excuse me, but
wow.
It's just the kid needs to keep his head up. I mean, Perron, and he's always done that. He's always led with his head when he skated.
Yep.
I mean, that has always been a gripe on David Perron.
And I
totally agree.
And I say this in tongue-in-cheek, guys, because now Timo Meier has a reputation. Do you suspect he'll be suspended?
No. If I would be surprised if he even gets a fine. To be quite honest, that's totally on Perron.
Well, hey, Tomas Hurdle falls down late in the third period, gets a penalty call, and while Marchessault,
we can talk about that one, but man, I want to go to the acting school that Marchessault went to. I could win an Academy Award for that one.
So I'm just saying that. A couple things in the chat before we get out of here. Landy adding big time to the swear jar. Awesome. Can't wait for the big post-production party at the end of the year that this is all going to go to.
To buy Kura a new router, apparently.
No kidding. Oh my God. I apologize again for all the crap I've dealt with tonight. My gosh. Steve Cropper in the chat. Landy, next one you have to play that guitar.
Oh, right. Yeah, the one in the back. I have all of my electrics sitting in my closet over there that you can't see, but yeah, maybe I'll pull it out and maybe we'll finally get an intro, some intro music or
That'd
something.
Be cool. Gen X saying, dude, Hurdle was a moving pick. Where he got called on the interference call. Would you say that, guys, or
no?
I felt like the replays that I saw, I don't know, I was a little distracted when that happened, and the replays I saw, everything was off camera, so I don't have an opinion on it, unfortunately.
I didn't see it as that, man. I mean, literally, Marchessault is the one that pushes him down. Marchessault, I mean, Hurdle has clearly established position. He's on his skates. He's not moving. And Marchessault, again, it's like the Perron kind of run-in. It's Hurdle has already established his position in the lane. Marchessault's trying to get to the puck and pulls a takedown on Hurdle.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I mean, we didn't get into this officiating tonight, but it just seems like, you know, the Sharks are getting called on ticky-tackies, and they're not getting ticky-tackies back. I mean, I don't know.
I could go on and off about the referees, and it's just gonna get me more frustrated and everything. And like A0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the Sharks need to play dirtier. Well, guess what happened? When we get play dirtier, the guy gets suspended 6 playoff games in 41 games. So, but one thing that A0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 did mention was folding laundry greater than playing guitar.
Oh, the other one that I thought was pretty funny was by Sleepy Mofo. I want at Kevin Lacey and Landy to be on my defense team.
Yes.
If the Teal Town USA team was actually a team, that these two guys would probably be the Vlasic and Pickles. Or
yeah.
No, let me try it again. The Vlasic and the Braun. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I definitely get my devil's advocate playing from my father. You know, he can spin a yarn about anything, you know, and just be like, well, was that guy really in his sane mind when he did that? You know, is there really a reason for this? Like, so, you know, I've been taught to question a lot of stuff, and there was more than a few questionable non-calls tonight.
And Laurel just
the Timo Meyer trip that was right in front of the ref. I mean, oh my God, what else does Timo have to do to draw a penalty there?
Well,
be David Perron.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Oh, that's messed up, AO.
That's right. Yuri Lehtinen got his number retired. So good on you, Yuri Lehtinen.
Yuri Lehtinen, who stole all the Selkies from Mike Ricci.
But Mike Ricci's in that NHL commercial, not Yuri Lehtinen.
That's right.
Yeah, we actually have 2 Shark spots in that NHL. Yeah, Marchment and Ricci.
No, Thornton, yes. Scott Thornton and Ricci.
No, was it Thornton? I thought it was Marchment.
Thornton.
Thornton's in there too? No, Marchment's in there.
Marchment's in it? I know Scott Thornton and Ricci are.
Yeah, I thought it was Marchment. But Ricci's in there too.
Yeah, well, because Ricci's in the first one, and then it's Scott Thornton and Brian Marchment in the second one where they crash into the net.
Nice. Last thing before we get out of here, I'll combine both of them, Rob Iman, and I think we might have to do a special segment on Fridays, call it Factor Fiction Friday. PDB gets a game misconduct or a unsportsmanlike conduct this season.
God, I just really want him to throw a water bottle at the ref.
Yes. I don't condone it, but I kind of do.
like literally, like you could just see he's gonna pop a vein if he loses another fucking coach's challenge. I mean, like literally, it's gonna go like da-dum, da-dum.
I'm waiting to go full Harbaugh on the bench when that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man! Hey, this has been the longest outro ever. But you know what, though? That's might have been the most content-driven outro we've ever had.
Absolutely. I mean, shoot, I thought we were going to be finishing early, but apparently we're finishing right on time. We're a little over an hour.
You know what, though? I blame it on me because literally my brain has been stuck in like first gear for it seems like weeks. But yeah, it's just kind of tough. Really, I'm kind of working hard over here.
You know what, Landy? You know what? Kudos to you. I appreciate you coming on. I know we haven't talked about this, but you've been suffering from some stuff, and I hope you are okay. And we want you to be 100% better. But kudos to you, my good friend who spells his name the right way, for contributing to this and everything. And Kevin, always good to see you. Even when it's at the game or whatever, it's always awesome to see you, even without the turtleneck. We'll have to put that in the next contract.
I've had these turtlenecks ready. I have that new Sharks one, but when it's 71 degrees and it's supposed to be 77 tomorrow, I can't really wear it.
It was 93. It was 90.
Jeez.
93 in Southern California on Thanksgiving. I mean, what the hell?
So to those freezing their butts off in Canada, welcome to Teal Town After Dark.
Yeah, but speaking of spelling the name correct way, thank you to our new viewer tonight, Eric Madden. Thanks for chiming in the chat. I appreciate that. Hope you subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe. And Gen X wants you to play Wonderwall.
Oh
Andy.
my god! Oh my god! Gen X, you should know I'm a bass player by trade, and like, come on, we're Rush buddies. Come on.
Come on, Gen X, man. Dilly dilly everyone to Rob Iman with Rob Iman. Yes, dilly dilly. And I can't wait for Dylan to score because we will be saying dilly dilly like nothing
Oh
else.
god!
Oh my gosh.
And, and I hope that goal ends the Brent Burns to forward rumor.
Right? Oh my gosh. So 7 more subscribers to a cool 600 on YouTube. We're so close to 2,000 followers on the Twitter machine. By all means, tell your friends, tell everybody, please, please, please. We want to have the support of everybody that rocks the teal. So for Kevin Lacey, for Eric Landy, for Kelsey Apple for joining us from Vegas, we appreciate that so much. I'm Eric Kura. We'll be back with you following Sharks and Jets. We may or may not have a musical interlude from the West Side Story movie when that happens.
Do we really feel like getting a content flag?
All right. With that, we will let you go and enjoy your night. And until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. And we will see you tomorrow night after the Winnipeg game.